Okay, Void, if viewers are here, second one of the night, and how the heck do I even review heavy metal? I mean, it's heavy metal. It is what it is. If it's a movie that if you're into this sort of thing, you're gonna love it. If not, it's a weird sit. Having seen it a couple times now, I still don't even know how I really feel about this film. It's a weird one, and if you're up for some odd animation, a killer soundtrack, and something exploitative as fuck, then yeah, sure. Heavy metal. Um, what is it about? A very loosely held together series of vignettes as an excuse to have animated gore and nudity just for the sake of it. Pretty much. But that said, it is very hypnotic and you can't turn away from it. So, there's that. So, plotline. Well, Heavy Metal, 1981. It's based around the Heavy Metal magazine, several comics that appeared therein, which made up most of the stories for this one. An astronaut who drove his car down from space brings a gift to his daughter, which happens to be the Lochnar, which is the embodiment of all evil. So after disintegrating her father, it begins showing her terrifying visions of the atrocities it's committed throughout time, pretty much to try to break her spirit because she is one of the few people who may eventually become someone who could stand against the Lochnar's power. And then we start going into a weird series of vignettes. It's hard to even break down because some of them are so short that it's hard to comment on. Other ones are so out there. You've got a nerdy teen who finds the Lochnar as a meteorite, gets transported to another world where he becomes a beefcake hero that's thwarting virgin sacrifices and fighting cultists. There's a cabbie in futuristic New York who's protecting a girl from mobsters. A space captain, I guess, being hauled up to a trial before someone goes crazy trying to kill him. There's World War II zombies. Secretary being abducted from a White House meeting to have sex with robots. Finally culminating in the final one, which takes up a good half hour of the hour and a half runtime this movie has, of essentially a silent, scantily clad heroine fighting up against tyrannical hordes who finally try to destroy the Lochnar once and for all. This whole movie's weird. I've seen it a couple times. I still can't tell you if it's actually any good or not. It's definitely an acquired taste of the film. Animation quality is, again, weird. Some of it's rotoscoped, which always looks strange. Some of the facial expressions are just odd. It definitely does look like a 70s or 80s comic style. It's just how well that translates to an animated film, it's kind of hit and miss. Some of the characters move weird. Is it worth seeing? Yeah, sure. It's just, be prepared for a lot of random and over-the-top blood nudity. Because this movie seems to just have it just for the sake of having it. I really have no idea about how to rate this one. I mean, it's not the most out there film. Heck, I've reviewed a softcore porn before on this, so it's not that bad, but it definitely does a it goes out of its way to not shy away from anything. But again, soundtrack's kind of amazing. You got Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, well, Stevie Nicks is on there, Devo, Cheap Trick. There's a lot on here. And there's a lot of big names doing voices. You got John Candy in here and Harold Ramis, so it's a very well put together film. It's just, oh, it's an odd experience. And it never loses that after a couple viewings. It's just, I think that's largely because of the animation quality more than anything else. Storyline, it's nonsensical and it's barely held together, but it's not really even trying to. It's an excuse to tell a few vignettes, and I guess it does accomplish that. I'd say the best of the segments is the last one, the referred to as Tarna, where it's the one that's depicted on the cover there. I'll probably have to give this one a 3, just because it is worth seeing, just for it is on the cult classic status, and it's worth seeing for that alone. But it's hard to describe. Maybe that's another reason to just check it out, just to see if it is your thing. I don't know. Well, heavy metal, 3 MacGuffins. Sure.